Hey guys, I just wanted to make a quick video on the snow mask and enabling both puddles and snow and getting them to work with MicroSplat Enviro, and also I have TVE here, so I figured I'd let you guys know just in case. I put that stuff on everything. So here we have regular terrain out of the free what's the name of this demo? I can never remember. Looks like a medieval village demo. So, first I set up MicroSplat and I added all the modules. So we're gonna click the terrain, and then we're gonna go to this last sprocket over here, terrain settings, and scroll down to the second material so we can access it a whole lot easier. It's just easier for me anyway. And over on the project, we're gonna click on the material. It should bring up everything else. I strongly suggest enabling rich snow. Uh, Take rim off, unless you like annoyingly bright lights. So we're going to remove rim off of this. We're also going to enable streams, puddles, lava, all that stuff. Uh, let's wait for this thing to finish. So while this is finishing, in the meantime, I also want to point out that some of these objects have already been converted into TVE objects. So I'm going to use my Alt, hold right. That allows you to kind of zoom in on things because this mouse just zooms everywhere. So you'll see some objects have the prefab set up. Others I'm using Lux. So I just want to try out something different. So to get started, first we're going to open up the painter thing that's over on, where is it? MicroSplat. Here we go. We're going to open up the Terrain FX Painter. You can put it anywhere you want. From this point, we're going to select the terrain, which we're working with. Then to enable the snow mask or to create one, you're going to go to Snow Max, hit save. You're going to go to Puddles, hit save, and anywhere else and hit save. What that does is it creates a file in your main project, like, where is it? Somewhere in here. Well, I put it in a certain place. Uh, that was actually in the MicroSplat folder. There we go. You see the snow mask? You can't really see it, but there's some things here. And so from here, we're going to make sure that on the terrain shader, here, don't mind my renaming things. We're going to scroll down to where it says Puddles. We're going to hit G because we want that to be controlled by MicroSplat. You're going to make sure that it's yellow, by the way. I also want to point out that sometimes going back and forth, like I'm doing now, I've tried out different things because I did miss the G part. Sometimes they won't glow yellow properly. So what you'll want to do is sometimes you either restart the project or click a few times and it'll turn gold or yellow. And once it does, make sure that you have, or at least make sure it's grayed out. So we're going to do this too. I would enter bulk shader mode for future reference. Save you probably a good few minutes. Probably save you 10 minutes. And once these are all configured, what you're going to want to do is jump over to Enviro, set your simulation to none. because in my opinion that's easier to spot. I'm sorry, it's easier to see things with. So set simulation to none and set the season to winter. Then we're going to start. Now, in this area you see here, I previously went over to the FX Painter and I selected Puddle. Now, if you don't have these values connected, what happens is the puddle will be formed when you paint it in. However, when the values are getting passed on to Enviro, you'll paint invisible puddles. So, I believe maybe you could paint them during runtime. I guess we'll find out. But also snow minimum, what it does is it's basically puts snow down on the ground. So that snow will be there all year round basically. So that just makes it easier to paint your mountainous regions or wherever with snow. Or I think you could set the height, makes it easier. That being said, the Snow Max, however, works differently. The Snow Max will also paint invisibly and you'll know where the snow is, but it's also easier to use the calculate option. So we're going to jump here, highlight the terrain, and I'm going to show you down here. It'll say Raycast under Snow Max. With the Raycast, what it'll do is it'll calculate everything that doesn't have an object above it, and it'll say, all right, well, we'll throw snow there. So it's one of the best options for getting snow anywhere where you need it to fall. So we're going to change our weather to, let's do rain. Let's do heavy rain. So with heavy rain, if you go here, stuff like this. There it is. We're going to hold Alt and hold down the right click, and that allows you to fine tune. You'll see there's environmental reflection. It also does rain because that's what we selected on the shader preset, sorry, the shader preset. So from here, we're going to move on. No. Now, I believe with RAM, River Auto Materials, it might change the river into like ice or something. I've seen the ice world. I haven't messed around with it too much. I just worked on getting it functional with the shaders and stuff. But I hope that works the way it does. Also, I do plan on going in here and making some changes myself, preferably for when it rains and on certain textures like brick. The bricks are raised. I'm gonna figure that one out. It's probably easy. Who knows? But as you see here, the snow is accumulating, and I would suspect that people might be interested in buying the tracks module, so where you can see some footprints and some cool things in the snow. Now these, the smooth is set too high, so that's the reason they look so terrible. But these are TVE objects; they're not bad. And as you can see here, you can probably add some noise and stuff to the snow to get it to look a little different, or mess around with the terrain a bit so you can get a better feel for things. So I also want to point out the house over here. You'll see that under the bench here, there's no snow. Where's the camera? So the camera's over here because we're not playing with the player. You'll see closer to the house, the snow doesn't fall here. Maybe there's a finer option set, but you can also clean up by going down to the snow option and dragging the target value down and probably clean up a bit. Well, what did I do? I didn't go all the way. On max snow, by the way. So looks like you can do that manually over here while it's running and hit save. It'll save to an image and make changes from there. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments.